Introducing Paddy Power's Hot Trot Jackpot, their new free-to-enter horse racing competition. Every Saturday, pick 5 horses in a free Lucky 31 bet for your chance to win the guaranteed £10,000 jackpot. T&Cs apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Bruce Millington, Paul Keeley, David Jennings and Paddy Power's Frank Hickey looking ahead to Sunday's racing, and the star of the show, the pin-up boy, is Caravaggio. Horse who ran so promisingly last season, real speedball, making his reappearance at Naas at 4:15 on Sunday over 6 furlongs. It's the Group 3 EMS Copiers Lacken Stakes. And while we don't have any prices yet, Frank, can you give us some clue as to how short you think Caravaggio will be?
I'd be very surprised if he's not odds on at least, off the top of my head.
He'd be long odds on.
Yeah, he'd be 1 to 2 or something, I'd be thinking.
1 to 2, do tally with your thinking, David? Bit shorter?
Yeah, I'd say it'd be very, very short, yeah.
OK, so is it a race to savour rather than bet on then?
Absolutely, yeah. He could be very, very good. He's obviously shown plenty of speed at home for them to swerve the French Guineas. He's rated 116. He's rated £9 higher than Cookery. Is that how you pronounce it? Cookery of Jessica Harrington. There's just one interesting one here. Gerlines had been talking up Psychedelic Funk at the start of the season, saying how he'd improved over the winter and that he could develop into a really, really good 3-year-old, a top-class sprinter. And he missed a break and ran like a hairy goat at Navan in a listed race that it was well bagged for. Went off 9-4 favourite. The race that Cookery won. Now, it was detached the whole way, so it might have lost interest, but he's a far better horse than that, and apparently he's working the house down. So it might be worth giving Psychedelic Funk another chance without Caravaggio, and he might be like 7-2 without, so it could be worth taking a chance on Psychedelic Funk without.
Keels, how good do you think Caravaggio will be this year? Do you think he'll sweep all before him?
I don't know. It's very hard to say, isn't it? You always want to see him. I mean, he was far and away the best 2-year-old sprinter last year, without a shadow of a doubt. And if he keeps that form up, something's going to have to improve quite dramatically to do it. But we know when you get these precocious 2-year-olds, it's whether they train on.
Quick question for you is Ryan Moore is riding Caravaggio. He's had 17 rides in Ireland this year. How many winners would you say he's had out of the 17?
I always like to sort of go with the really boring normal answer, so it sets up the person asking the question so they can shock you. So I'll say 7.
7 out of 17. Okay, Paul?
Yeah, I'd just say 10.
10. Frank?
I'll say 12.
2.
Really?
Jeez.
He's had 2 winners out of 17 rides.
That's
and
amazing.
his level stakes profit and loss is -14. He's had a bit of a nightmare on his visits to Ireland. I just hope this isn't another one.
Have you ever heard of the news desk? We've got this thing called the news desk at the Racing Post, David, and our journalists are encouraged to ring the news editor up and tell them about these things so we can put them in the paper.
But sure, everybody over there loves Ryan Moore. You can't say anything bad about him.
Of course you can. Why not? He's grumpy. There you go.
Yeah,
I've said
he's obviously a brilliant jockey, but Naas especially has not suited him. He had a nightmare on Peace Envoy, and I just hope he doesn't have a nightmare on Caravaggio, because I think he's a very good horse.
I'm sure it'll even itself out. Frank, have you got a view on this race? Maybe a forecast pick?
Yeah, I really like Caravaggio. There was a little bit of a rumour going around about 3 or 4 weeks ago that he might be aimed at the King's Stand, and I got involved, which I'd say I've done my dough, but I think he'll be very difficult to beat tomorrow, obviously, and in the Commonwealth Cup as well. I think that's where Aidan said he's going. He'll be tremendously difficult to beat if he's trained on. Yeah, I'd probably go with Dave and say, look, give Psychedelic Funk another go. Nothing went right the last day at Navan, and he's obviously way better than that. And even if you go back to last year in the Coventry, he was third behind Caravaggio. A repeat of that's good enough.
OK, well, we've got plenty of other stuff at Naas, and we've also got a meeting at Limerick on Sunday. So, David Jennings, why don't you take us through your best bets?
I'll try and be as quick as I can here.
Your break, Bruce.
Yeah.
A few games of cricket. In the 3:15, the Rochestown Stakes, I was very impressed with T for Tango, first time out at Naas. I know James Nash thinks the world of him. I'm just surprised he hasn't been sold since Pat Smullen takes the ride. And I favour him over True Blue Moon and Dali. And later on in the card, in the 3:45, the Philly Sprint Stakes, another listed race. Jessica Harrington has never hidden her admiration for Alpha Centauri, who was hugely impressive when beating Actress at Naas back on the first day of May. She's a giant of a filly. I'd say she's very, very good. So Alpha Centauri and what was the other one I gave you?
I don't know, I zoned out.
T for Tango.
You don't think we listened to you, do you?
You were bowling.
Have you done?
Yeah, I'm finished long ago.
OK, jolly good. Frank, what about your Irish roundup?
Yeah, the 240 White Cliffs of Dover only probably needs to repeat his free handicap run to win that listed race. 100% agree with Dave in the 345 Alpha Centauri. Jessica Carton's been really big in this up and she's flying for him. That'll prove difficult enough to beat. In the 315, I thought Simi's Chop Shop or Cop Shop might be worth a go here for Richard Fahey. The Nottingham maiden win is working out quite well. The second, Havana Grey, bolted up in air. The third, Neola, won at Nottingham by 5 lengths, I think, and runs today in the first of York. And Choice Encounter was knotted on the line at Windsor during the week. Staff form is working out and I'd be willing to give her a go. Yeah, and that's my nice roundup.
Okay, and Kills, what do you think with the possession stats for this? Who's had the most airtime on this?
Oh, definitely
broadcast
DJ,
so far?
mate. Definitely DJ.
Really?
Frank's done well. Frank's done well.
Yeah, I'm
Frank's had a
tailed
good
off.
week.
I'm
You're
tailed
tailed
off
off. So
as
here's your
usual. I mean,
big
I go
chance. So
quick.
we've got Ripon, Market Raisin, and Stratford.
Right, I just want to agree with all of them about Alpha Centauri. I think she could be very, very good. She'll win at Royal Ascot if she goes there. I'd be quite interested to see if they went up to 7 furlongs for the Chesham, because you definitely stay. But anyway, Ripon, the main race at Ripon is the 340, and I think the top one, Snow Arno, might just have a class edge. He ran 5th last time to Deauville at Chester. Obviously, he was beaten a fair way, but obviously that was a Group 3 race. They're going to get a bit of rain. They're still hanging on to good ground officially at the moment at Ripon, but if they get a bit of rain and it softens up, it would be perfect for
I've never
them.
been there. Have you been to Ripon?
I've never been, but they call it Yorkshire's Garden Racecourse.
That's what they say,
It is the Yorkshire's Garden Racecourse handicap, in fact. So yeah, I think he might just have a bit of a class edge there. We go back to Market Raisin. I've got to find the bloody race now. There's an interesting one in a handicap hurdle called Viserion of Donald McCain's in the 330. He's, apart from one blip when he suffered an overreach, he's looked really progressive over hurdles. He's stepping up the 2.5 mile for the first time in a handicap for the first time too, and having been a middle distance performer on a flat, I think that'll suit him. And there's one more at Stratford in a handicap chase right down at the bottom. Let's have a look. Yes, this is the race. 320. Michael Appleby is absolutely flying at the moment, and he's got this Bayer who's very, very lightly raced recently and is now for mark some 17 pound lower than over hurdles. And although it finished only 5th of 6 last time, he didn't actually get beaten that far, and I think it'd go well. Okie dokie, right. Weekend plans. DJ, what are you doing?
I'm in Navan tomorrow in my home track. I'm working, but I'm in the bad books because we were supposed to be going to Killarney for the weekend, but my football championship starts tomorrow night, so we have a match, so I've had to cancel Killarney, and the news went down like a lead balloon.
Oh dear. Well, you must have known in advance that was going to happen. They didn't arrange the game just 3 days ago, did they?
It's really tricky because it depends on the inter-county hurling championship, and Meath were beaten last week by Westmeath, which meant they were out of that, so it was a provisional fixture kind of thing.
How does that affect you? Proper stuff. You play for a pub team, don't you? Actually, to be fair,
Bruce, what the hell did I do in you?
No, I love you, Dave. No, you do play to quite a high standard, don't you? I believe. Is that right?
Oh, well, sure, that's for others to decide, isn't it?
Well, no, it's up to you. No, seriously. I mean, you play with like a proper grandstand and floodlights and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, we do. Like like Frank will tell you, like intercounty or like club football in Ireland, GA is it's quite competitive, isn't it, Frank?
Yeah.
Oh, very much. Like, as in, I came from a team in West Cork where we were Junior B Gaelic football, which is a low enough level, but our captain was also the captain of Cork, who played senior for inter-county. So, like, you know, you can get a right mix of ability within the teams, like, and they can be quite good.
Kills, who's your favourite GAA star? Do you not know any?
Couldn't name one, mate.
Really?
No.
You never heard of DJ Carey?
No.
DJ Carey's, and who's the other? Henry Shefflin, I've heard of him as well. Producer Jack's sticking his thumb up there, he loves that lot. Yeah, I went to see them once at Crow Park, it was excellent. And that trip to Killarney, DJ, was that the one where you were going to go and propose to Aoife?
Not really, no.
That's a yes. Okay, well, you'll have to keep her waiting for a little bit longer. Frank, what are you doing at the weekend? Spending some more of your winnings?
Maybe, yeah. I have to work in the morning for a few hours, but I'm heading off down to Cork then in the afternoon. A friend is back from Australia, so I'm going to meet him for a few pints, and then Sunday meet up with family and come back to Dublin Sunday evening.
And what price are you to win betting over the weekend?
1 to 2.
1-2. God, I wish I could go into weekend being 1-2. Be lovely, wouldn't it? Kills, are you going to win this weekend, do you think?
Yeah,
You
I
sounded
think
pretty
so.
definite.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I really do fancy that Holmeswood, and I'll beat the price on that. So.
Are you working?
Yeah, working Saturday, and probably have a few drinks Sunday, but won't go too mad because we've got a golf game Monday.
Oh, yeah, we're playing golf on Monday. That'll be nice, won't it? We've got to go to the driving range as well, haven't we?
Have we?
Well,
Is that the fancy golf day with
it's Ed Chamberlain's
Ed
golf
Chamberlain,
day. Yeah,
yeah.
we're playing at Woburn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
And neither of us has had a seasonal reappearance.
No, I have.
How would Irish
have you?
Racing
Yeah,
Post
I played
journalists
once.
get an invite to that?
Don't know. We'd have to like you more than we do, probably. We'd have Tony O'Hare over. wouldn't we?
I'd have to shut up.
No, it'd be absolutely fine. We were supposed to be playing with Niall Quinn, which we normally do, which is always
Oh,
a pleasure.
legend.
But unfortunately, he can't make it this year. So no, I haven't told you that, have I? No, it's not good news. So therefore, on Monday, normally Tom Siegel's there, but Tom's playing golf with us. So join us on Monday when Maddie Player will be at the controls, and she'll be joined by Nick Watts and. Now, there's a top man, Justin O'Hanlon, DJ. How much is Justin loved in the Irish press box?
Justin's a legend, yeah, absolutely. And he's far quicker with his replies than me, so he'll be quite enjoyable.
Has he got over his hangover from Nottingham Forest staying up yet?
He has, yeah. He's a proper.
He flew over, didn't he, for it?
He did, yeah. He went over and he constantly talks about it. Like, he'd be rabbiting on to me about Nottingham Forest in the press room. Sure, I wouldn't be listening at all, and he just keeps going and. Yeah, he's mad
David,
into it.
let's leave it there with David Jennings accusing someone of rabbiting on. Thank you very much indeed for listening. Join us next Friday for another Racing Post Weekend Postcast.
Paddy Power stream all UK and Irish racing live on your mobile, tablet or PC. Unlike some other high street bookies, Paddy Power, you beauty!